Going to begin with our boards and commission. Item 1A, we have yes.
Those boards that we only have, one applicant or two applicants, we have competition. Could we just, yeah, there you go. For those appointments that doesn't have any opposition, could we just get those first? I think it's how many of them, Salisbury?
A, B, and D.
A, B, and D. I'd like to,
I left C.
Well, let's do A and B, and let's leave D for right now.
A and B. All right, move for approval.
Probably moved and seconded. Probably moved and seconded. Before we take the vote, are there any applicants for the Resilience and Sustainability Advisory Committee?
Chair, I just need to interject. 1C is the one I need to be heard on.
Oh, we're taking those individually.
Okay.
If you, yeah, we're dealing with 1A and B right now.
I think what he's saying is B is one of the ones that has one person that can be included in this motion.
All right.
Yeah.
Ms. Salisbury?
Yes.
A, B, and D.
A, B, and D.
And C is the one that Mr. Boykin wants to take.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was trying to read and listen at the same time. Are there any individuals who are the individual who applied for these seats? If you're here and you would like to introduce yourself, meaning for 1A, B, or D, Resilience and Sustainability Advisory, or the St. John Fire District Kiowa Island seat. Any of those persons here wanting to say anything? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. The ayes have it. 1C, Mr. Boykin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to nominate Mr. Leroy Blake from the floor. Mr. Blake is currently serving on the commission and missed the deadline to reapply, but would like to continue serving. And this motion does not need a second because it's just a nomination.
Correct.
All right, so Ms. Salisbury, if you would proceed. Are any of the candidates here for the St. John's Fire District Johns Island seat? You may come and just give your name and a few words, if you will, about your candidacy.
Good afternoon, sirs, ma'am. My name is Leroy Blake. A little about myself. I'm a retired Air Force Master Sergeant. I am also a retired County Safety Officer and an OSHA officer. I've been on the Fire District Committee for the last 12 years. If most of you know, Johns Island has grown by leaps and bounds. And when I came on the commission, we only had 96 employees. We now had over 156 employees. We are in the process of building 2 more stations and buying new vehicles to accommodate the growth of the island. My knowledge of fire safety and employee safety, I think, works well with the commission on doing what we're doing. That's why somehow between my travels and scheduling myself to get back home to get my application in, I missed it. So please forgive my tardiness. Thank you,
sir.
Good evening, council members. I'm Kip Valentine. Live on Johns Island and have for the last 50 years. Was a volunteer with St. John's for 13 years. Lifetime member of the James Island Fire Department. Former EMT. 40 plus years with the Charleston County Rescue Squad. Remember when St. John's had no paid employees. And it would be a pleasure to assist my community by bringing better fire protection. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you very much. Ms. Salisbury, roll call vote.
Just a quick question. So we got one with 2 nominees.
Yeah.
We have 3 applicants and 2 seats.
All right, we got 3 applicants and two
And
seats.
these are the only two here
So, Mr.
tonight.
Boykin, you nominated Mr. Blake, and who else from the floor?
Just Mr. Blake
All right,
and
and
then the
who
other.
else? That's your district, so who else are you going with?
Mr. McGugan.
Guggen and Blake. Okay. That's in St. John. All right.
Mr. Kabrowski?
I'll nominate Mr. Valentine.
Well, no, we're going to do a roll call vote.
Oh, okay, 'cause I didn't
And
know
Ms.
if they had to
Salisbury, just have your two names when
Yes, sir.
she comes around.
We don't have to nominate him.
No,
Yes, sir.
we already nominated.
All right,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Valentine or Valentine?
Valentine, like Valentine's Day, or?
Yes.
Yes, Valentine.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Boykin,
McGugan and Blake.
Mr. Darby,
Blake, Valentine.
Mrs. Honeycutt,
McGugan Blake.
Mr. Kabrowski
Blake and Valentine.
is absent. Mr. Pryor,
I want to go with Blake and Valentine since they showed up.
Mr. Sass,
Blake and Valentine.
Mr. Werman,
Blake and Valentine.
Chairman Middleton.
Blake, Valentine.
Okay, and so the two nominees are Blake and Valentine.
Okay.
Now we go to item 1E, the Library Board of Trustees. There are 4 appointments.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, so you want us to just nominate 4 people, or you just want to let them go, let everybody give who they want?
Let everyone give who they want, and we'll see who prevails from there.
Okay.
All right, at this time, if there are candidates for the Library Board of Trustees that are present, please come, give your name, and state your case for your candidacy.
Good evening. My name is Louise Anderson Allen, and I'm here tonight to first thank you for appointing me as a library board trustee for the past 4 years. And I'm also asking you for another reappointment and another opportunity to serve again on the library board of trustees. From Bible story books to children's books to my own set of Encyclopedia Britannicas when I was 5, and I still have that set of books. Books have always been the center of my life. The executive director of our library system here in Charleston County, along with her professional staff, have worked very hard to also offer our patrons that kind of opportunity. Books with a whole world of learning and a way to look farther beyond Charleston County. Our libraries are recognized as community centers. We support families and children. As you know, trustees meet at various branches across the county, and we have the chance to see these programs and our patrons in the branches. Serving as a library trustee is the most affirming opportunity to be of service to the Charleston community. In fact, my service to the board has been recognized by my peers because I have been elected the board secretary twice now. I'd appreciate your support for my reappointment to the Library Board of Trustees. Thank you.
Your name again, ma'am? You said Allen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought I heard Anderson, but it's Allen. Okay. I'd rather be Allen.
Good evening, council members. My name is Kyle Oman. I am seeking your support for a reappointment to the library board. Charleston County Public Libraries have been extremely successful through explosive growth for the past decade, and I feel very fortunate to have played a small role in the last 4 years of that progress. And I hope that you can support reappointing me to the board for another 4 years of service. It has been a great joy to guide the library system to the success we found. And beyond just my regular membership duties, I've also played a standing role on the Finance Committee for almost my entire duration on the board, having innumerable hours of conversations with Perry Litchfield about the in-depth nature of accounting for the library systems. And I think the value that I add there in talking from an informed perspective is something that would be a loss to the library board if I were not there. So I appreciate your consideration, and I hope I can count on your support tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, councilmen members. My name is Dr. Everett Platt, and I appreciate the chance to speak with you this evening. I am an educator with more than 20 years of experience in literacy development, curriculum design, and community-based learning, and I currently serve as an English language arts teacher and grade level chair at Meeting Street Schools. I'm here to share my interest in serving on the Charleston County Public Library Board of Trustees. Libraries have shaped not just my professional life, but my family's story. When my now adult children recently reflected on their childhood adventures, they laughed about how their dad took them on exciting outings, theme parks, big cities, fishing trips, and then they said, "Mom, she took us to the library." And I said, yes, I did, and I have not regretted that. Today, one of them is a senior at the College of Charleston, and the other is a sophomore at the Manhattan School of Music. I am so proud of who they've become, and I truly believe that a love for reading and my Saturday library trips help build the foundation under their feet. I believe in the power of literacy and libraries to transform generations, and I feel called to support that work in our community. So I would like to say to each and every one of you this evening, thank you for considering my application and for the opportunity to serve.
Good evening. My name is Mike Lyons, resident of Mount Pleasant. I am a dedicated lifelong learner who sees the library system as an adjunct to the school system. I was chairman of a school board in Connecticut of a city with 95,000 people, Norwalk, for 5 years, where one of the things we worked on was improving our internal library system. And I certainly can say that the library system in this county is excellent. As a lifelong learner myself, having retired a couple of years ago from corporate law, I enrolled in the College of Charleston and last week completed my process of getting a master's degree in history. And I spent an awful lot of time in the South Carolina room of this library system downtown, going through the old archives, building up the material I needed for my thesis. So I think given my experience in the educational field and my own personal love of lifelong learning, I love the story about your mom taking you to the library, because that's what my mom did when I was 8, and I'd like to contribute that here. Thank you.
Chairman Middleton and members of the Special Finance Committee. My name is Julianne Farnsworth. I'm an attorney here in Charleston, and I'm asking for your support for the Library Board of Trustees. I was born and raised in Greenville, South Carolina, and I attended the University of South Carolina undergraduate and law school. I have been a property owner in Charleston County since 1989. I am married to Doug Snyder, a Citadel graduate who finished the Citadel in 1982. I am running for the Library Board of Trustees because I believe I would be a great asset to the board, bringing my leadership and governance experience that I have had for the past 40 years, beginning with being student body president at Greenville High School, to chairperson of the Honor Court at the USC School of Law, and giving service to my state, my community, and my church for the past 35 years. I believe that I have the necessary skills for leadership and governance that would help our board only become a better board. Additionally, my passion for reading and literacy and for education is what prompted me to run for this position. I believe that all our libraries here in Charleston County are an asset to all of our population, both young and old. And I think we need to preserve and enhance the libraries for our future generations. My husband and I raised our 2 children, twins, here in Charleston County, who are active members of the Charleston County Public Library. In fact, every summer from the time they were 5 years old till they were 18, they participated in the summer reading contest. And I tell them now that's why they're so successful. My daughter finished seminary in May, and she is now a preacher in Dallas, and she will be entering the U.S. Navy as a chaplain in 2027. My son's a senior in law school, and he'll be graduating in May. I really believe that their involvement with and participation with the Charleston County Library helped them make them a success. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, and I have attached with my application a copy of my professional affiliations, and I would just ask you to give me consideration, and I'd ask for your vote. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Kenna Burt, and my husband David Burt and I have lived on James Island for over 20 years, where we've raised our 3 children. I have a master's degree in education from the Citadel and spent a decade at MUSC in psychiatric research and outreach services. For the last 5 years, I've contracted with Charleston County in numerous departments, including the Board of Elections, which partnered with the libraries to host polling locations. I am currently at the Charleston County Department of Community Development and Revitalization. In addition, I have volunteered with Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach Services and served on the board of the Charitable Society of Charleston. I have also served as a member of the Charleston Junior League, where I chaired the Free Friday Family Fest at the Children's Museum of the Low Country, which promotes literacy and educational enrichment opportunities for underserved children in our community. I would love the opportunity to serve on the Board of Trustees to support Charleston County Library continue their incredible mission. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dennis Carf. I'm honored to appear before you tonight for a library board position. Others have spoken of the incredible pillar which our library system is, but not just to maintain that pillar, we must think of the future, how to improve that pillar in the face of mighty changes in our society, especially with artificial intelligence, the opening of social media. Our services are so vast and array that a broad spectrum is needed on the library board. It requires great responsibility, and I have a unique set of talent, experience, and motivation to provide that service. I founded and managed my law firm for 33 years, and during that time, I participated and was a civil litigator in complex litigation for both plaintiffs and defendants. Significantly, I've served on multiple boards of directors, not just for profits, but also for nonprofits, including, most importantly, for family services that provided a vast array of services for a multi-county system of a population of well over 100,000 people. Additionally, I served as the chairman of the audit committee of a national bank for several years. Fiscal responsibility is just as important as providing services. All the services that we have provided through each of our branches require a perspective for the future on funding services as well as the quality of the services rendered. I taught and also studied in Germany and in England, and during that time I had the opportunity to avail myself of library systems in those countries so different than ours. Libraries and books have been extremely important to myself and my family, and indeed my own son-in-law is the director of research of the New York City library system, the second largest in this country. I have a personal indebtedness to this library, different than just a general indebtedness from the great pillar that this is. A little bit over a decade ago, I was involved in a serious crash in which my car was totaled, and I was rendered effectively immobile and confined to a wheelchair and to bed. It was only through the miraculous recovery system of MUSC that helped my body, but it was this library system, the pickup services that were provided uniformly by this library. They provided what I call the 3 A's. They were capable, capability, accessibility, and affability. it is not just the quality of services, but it's the people who provide the services that make the rootedness and the connection in such a great community as ours. So from this personal indebtedness to this library, I am committed to providing the kinds of leadership and overview of the outstanding director and her staff that we have, but also to ensure that for the future we provide initiative, courage, and integrity as we seek to make our library system even better for the future. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you so very much. Ms. Salisbury, roll call vote.
Okay, so I'll call the roll and you'll vote for 4 people. Mr. Boykin?
Allen, Oman, Riley, and Lyons.
Mr. Darby?
Allen, Ullman, Platt, Riley.
Okay. Mrs. Honeycutt?
Sarah Carey, Caroline Parker, Lyons, Dennis.
Who was that?
Carey, Parker, Lyons, and who was the last one? Bennett? Oh, no, I don't have a Bennett.
Dennis.
Dennis.
Dennis Clark.
Who was the last one?
Clark.
Dennis, the last
Oh,
person
the
who
last
just
one.
spoke.
Okay, Carp. Okay, got it. Thank you. Mr. Kabrowski?
Sarah Carey, Dennis Carp, Michael Lyons, and Carolyn Parker.
Parker.
And Carey. Carp, Lyons, and Parker.
Okay, Mr. Moody is absent. Mr. Pryor?
Allen, Orman, Platt, and Riley.
Platt, Riley, okay. Mr. Sass?
Carey, Lyons, Parker, and Platt.
Mr. Werman?
Allen, Oman, Platt, and Riley.
Platt, Riley, okay. Mr. Middleton?
Allen, Oman, Riley, Platt.
Riley, Platt, okay. For Carrie, we have 1, 2, 3. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Looks like Owen, Platt, Riley, and Allen.
Clark, 1, 2, King, 0, Lyons, 1, 2, 3. Omen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Riley, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 0. Okay, so I have 5 for Allen, 5 for Omen, 5 for Platt, and 5 for Riley, and everyone else got less than 5.
All right, thank you so much. So our new library board members, these individuals who will go on to our county council meeting for recommendation, Allen, Oman, Riley, Platt. We do have need for an executive session this evening, and I know we're right at the end of this time going into our county council meeting at 6:30, but we do have need for an executive session. Madam Attorney.
Yes, sir. We have a need for an executive session to discuss the sale of 993 and 995 Morrison Drive.
What's the time limit on that?
15 minutes.
All right, very well.
Everybody voted for him. Okay. I mean, I know the outcome, but just voted for who.
3, 4, 5. We're back from executive session, and no action was taken. And so thank you again for your patience and for waiting. At this time, we're going to move into our public hearings. 1A, pedestrian and temp construction easement to movement resources.
Notice is hereby given that Charleston County Council will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, December 9th at 6:30 p.m. regarding an ordinance approving and authorizing the grant of a pedestrian and temporary construction easement to movement resources on a portion of county-owned property identified as tax map parcel 41200000027.
Anyone signed up to speak?
Anthony G. Bryant.
All right.
G.
Anthony G. Bryant, President AG Bryant Group, Inc. Physical address, 2123 Cortland Avenue, Charleston, South Carolina, 29403. Referral, OIG, Social Security Administration. You house the South Carolina Department of Social Services. You house them under public health. So the question I have is what's the capacity of this council to refer my name when I speak to law enforcement? Is there a policy of my speech right now that can be referred to the sheriff's department right now? I want to ask that question.
Mr. Bryant, does this have anything to do with the pedestrian and temp construction easement to movement resources?
Yes.
Okay. 1B, Cooper River Parks and Playground Commission consolidation into North Charleston District.
Sorry. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing shall be held beginning at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, on the question of whether the Cooper River Parks and Playground Commission, a special purpose district created by Act Number 640 of 1942, shall be consolidated into the North Charleston District, a special purpose district created by Act Number 1768 of 1972.
Anyone signed up to speak? Mr. Bryant.
Anthony G. Bryant, President AG Bryant Group, Inc., physical address, 2120 Cortland Avenue, Charleston, South Carolina, 29403. Referral, OIG, Social Security Administration, South Carolina Department of Social Services. The question with this committee is it in compliance with the South Carolina Ethics, Government Accountability Campaign Reform Act? Because after these appointments are vetted by this body, there's no additional oversight. I believe that's not germane.
Thank you, sir. 1C, business license ordinance amendments.
Notice is hereby given that Charleston County Council will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. regarding an ordinance amending the ordinance number 2185, the business license ordinance of the County of Charleston.
Anyone signed up to speak? Mr. Bryant.
This is about my company, Anthony G. Bryant, President AG Bryant Group, Inc., in terms of a double bill. This is not germane. Under your business license policy, I received from my previous company, Bryant Group, Inc., a bill of a certain amount of money. The company was dissolved by the Secretary of State's office. I dissolved that company, started reestablished AG Bryant Group, Inc., was reestablished, and I got a bill from the city of Charleston. Now, under this policy, if we're not careful, this could send my company to be in bad standing. Okay, because the referral would then come from the assessor's office, and it goes to the auditor's office and the treasurer's office, the Department of Revenue, Secretary of State, and then my company is not in good standing. It affects my vendor license with the state, housing authority vendor license, and all my licenses would be affected by anything relating to this policy. We hope that this policy is relooked at completely with all the cities and municipalities to ensure that those business owners, because we have a DEI issue downtown for businesses, $175 million will be left. Now the question becomes, did Clyburn a race conscious district? They got a lot of money for the state of South Carolina through that district when the Democrats, the Republicans are not in power. And so the question becomes, how will we be able, as business owners, to determine whether or not we deserve contracts and other opportunities? So if they want to change the policy downtown on DEI, I need to know what is race conscious or race neutral regarding businesses. I don't think that's germane.
1D, amendments to the Charleston County Zoning and Land Development Regulation Ordinance, ZLDR.
Charleston County Council will hold a public hearing on proposed amendments to the Charleston County Zoning and Land Development Regulations Ordinance at 6:30 p.m. on December 9th, 2025.
Good afternoon. We have several proposed amendments to the ZLDR ordinance tonight. These following proposed amendments are intended to implement the comprehensive plan, reduce BZA caseload, and provide clarifications to assist with administering the ordinance. The first group of amendments will be related to dimensional standards. These first amendments are proposing to provide administrative relief from setback requirements for front setbacks on narrow rights-of-way and narrow ingress-egress easements. This next amendment would allow front setbacks to be administratively reduced on one of the street side lot lines for double frontage lots in the R4 and UR zoning districts. This amendment will pertain to parcels within the limited commercial district of the Johns Island Maybank Highway Corridor Overlay. Here we are clarifying that the R4 minimum lot size is required for single-family detached development. This amendment would align with how staff currently administers the ordinance. The next group of amendments will be related to accessory dwelling units, uses, and structures. ADUs on parcels which contain or abut an OCRM critical line are allowed to be placed in front of a principal dwelling unit, and this amendment will clarify that a variance is not required. Additionally, we are proposing to add setback requirements for placement in front of a principal dwelling unit, as well as simplify requirements for administration and public understanding of the ordinance. Here we are adding a graphic illustration to demonstrate how an accessory structure can be connected to a principal structure. And these proposed amendments are clarifying that ADUs are allowed to meet the maximum building height for the zoning district which it is located, and to amend the ADU definition in Chapter 12 accordingly. We've had some concerns that have been raised about the placement of dumpsters in the ag districts and their proximity to adjacent properties. Therefore, we are proposing the following listed conditions in Bullet 2 regarding dumpsters. Historically, ADUs have been prohibited on commercial and industrial zone properties. This amendment permits ADUs on parcels where residential uses have been legally established. Here will allow placement of an ADU in front of a principal structure in residential and residential office zoning districts. And this amendment will clarify that detached ADUs are required to have separate electric meters, which ensures consistency with the building code requirements. And we are also proposing to add a new section to the ZLDR, which will allow agritourism as an accessory agricultural use. This amendment will include adding a definition for agritourism, allowing it as an accessory use in the AG 15, AG 10, AG 8 zoning districts, and by special exception approval in the AGR zoning district. This slide lists the requirements to establish agritourism as a use. And the next group of amendments will be related to short-term rentals. So there are a few amendments being proposed to the STR ordinance. One, we are requiring a site plan drawn to engineer scale that shows existing and proposed conditions. This is currently required for 2 of the 3 STRP types. Removing the requirement for annual renewal affidavits to be notarized. However, signed affidavits by the applicant will still be required as part of the annual renewal process. And also remove regulations regarding amortization of non-conforming STRPs because that period concluded on July 24th of 2023. The next group of amendments will be related to landscaping, screening, and buffers. Here we want to clarify that the Type C buffer is required along Hungry Neck Boulevard for consistency with the Mount Pleasant Overlay Zoning District. And then this amendment would add a definition for inverted islands and permit a reduction to land use buffers when utilizing inverted islands. Our next amendment will cover signage. Here we are clarifying that the flutter flag signs and the hanging of objects from signs are both prohibited. And then we have a few more amendments that will cover a variety of different topics. To Chapter 3 regulations, we are proposing to limit power poles to 60 amps in residential zoning districts where there are no existing or proposed dwellings. And then we are also looking to update the ordinance to reflect that the zoning and planning director no longer handles addressing because these are now functions of other departments. Here we have amendments to Chapter 4 regulations where we are requiring conceptual PD workshops for all PD zoning requests. And then we are also correcting a footnote on the Ag 8 dimensional standards table referencing conservation subdivisions, which corresponds with previous amendments adopted to implement the comprehensive plan update. There are 2 amendments here that will apply to the DuPont-Wapu area overlay. We are clarifying that permitted uses in the NC zoning of the overlay corresponds with allowed uses of general office zoning as described on the DUWAP overlay use table. And also that single-family detached dwelling units in the job center district of the overlay shall comply with dimensional standards of the UR zoning district. This amendment here states that only uses allowed to utilize access on county non-standard roads are manufactured housing units on individual lots and single-family detached dwelling units. This amendment is proposing to add a definition for industrial park and remove the requirement for internal sidewalks in industrial parks. Here we are proposing to increase the threshold for loss of legal non-conforming status due to damage or destruction from 12 months to 36 months. And our last amendment is to add a definition for approvable state to the ZLDR. The Planning Commission recommended approval. And prior to the Planning Commission meeting, we received 1 comment in opposition to pedestrian ways within industrial parks. And then prior to tonight's meeting, a support petition with a total of 899 signatures was received for the agritourism amendments. No additional public input received for the remaining proposed amendments. This request was noticed as required. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Do we have anyone signed up to speak or public comments?
The first person is Louis Porcher, followed by Thomas Tisdale, and then Christopher Newhart.
How many do we have?
6.
Thank you so much.
Good evening. Thank you, Chairman Middleton and Council. Our statement was emailed to members of Council to expedite the time, but we realized that before coming here that some of those email addresses bounced it back. So we apologize to Mr. Moody, Ms. Wireman, and Mr. Boykin. We'll get the statement to you. Real quickly, I'm the Executive Director of the Lincoln Regional Center of South Carolina, formerly Lincoln High School. We are in Councilman Gabrowski's district. The statement reads as follows. We at the Lincoln Regional Center of South Carolina are asking for your immediate consideration concerning a funding opportunity that was recently brought to our attention and we applied for. We're talking about the Charleston County Settlement Communities Project Grant. This one-time federal grant was earmarked for local qualified 501c3 nonprofit organizations that provide services to rural, historic Gullah Geechee settlement communities in Charleston County that are still experiencing the lingering effects brought on by the COVID-19 crisis. And we put in a link to send you directly to that grant information on your email. This timely opportunity was brought to our organization by the Executive Director of the Gullah Geechee Cultural Heritage Corridor Commission. Our application has been properly reviewed by the GGCCC staff and forwarded to Charleston County Council's office to be brought before County Council. However, it was brought to our attention, so we were informed that our grant request would not come before the council until February 5th. We respectfully request that Charleston County Council would step in and help us. It has been determined by the GGCCC that we are more than qualified to receive these funds because of the nature of our work in this part of Charleston County. The Lincoln Regional Center serves the 9 settlement communities in the rural northeasternmost part of Charleston County. We're talking about from 10 Mile Seaway north all the way to South Santee. We really need your immediate attention and help in order to move forward, especially since these funds are already available for disbursement. These funds are needed to complete some important.
Mr. Forshey, we do apologize. I was listening for the buzzer, and it's, so yeah, you get 2 minutes. Thank you, sir. Duly noted. Next.
Thomas Tisdale, Christopher Newherd.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Good afternoon, Council. Thank you again for your support. Our family is asking for support of opting us out of the 10-mile overlay and ask for your approval of the 10-mile overlay. Thank you.
Christopher Newherd, Fran White, Bert Morrison.
Good evening, y'all. I realize my handwriting can be kind of shaky at times, so for clarification, it's Christopher Newhard. 8506 William Moultrie Drive. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شفتوا الموت على أصدقائي بالغزة. Israel's genocide in Gaza has not stopped. And Elvin Systems, who y'all gave a fee in lieu of tax agreement, is an active participant. And this is not just me, this is several human rights organizations. And before we leave for the holiday season, I'm going to try to bring this home in a way, in a different way. This is a rhetorical question, but who are your constituents? Do they live in flood-prone areas? Do they drive on Charleston County roads? Do they attend Charleston County schools? Do they rely on Charleston County emergency services? Do your constituents live in rent-controlled apartments? And if a constituent of yours had a job on the other side of Charleston County, and they did not have a car, would they still be able to attend that job and do a good day's work? The answer for many of y'all is unfortunately no, because from what y'all have demonstrated throughout the time you've been here, that we've been here, I should say, is that the only consistently heard class in this room are billionaire corporations that fly executives, executive representatives from New York, Texas, Delaware, and Israel. Y'all people, I've been in this council so many times where people have applauded white supremacist dog whistles about the plight of Western civilization. Meanwhile, the underlying personhood of a constituent who doesn't share your religion or native language is unfortunately lost on many of y'all. So as we go home for the holidays, please remember who your constituents are. Thank you.
Fran White, Bert Morrison, Anthony G. Bryant.
Fran White. Unfortunately, we do not have a strong turnout tonight because we have some conflicting meetings, including a church meeting. Pacing growth is smart growth for 10 Mile. The comprehensive plan talks about smart growth. How do you quantify that? How can your planning commission quantify that when they make decisions about subdivision requests? We've looked at the number of homes built or placed on lots during each decade since 1920, according to Charleston County data. Only during 2 decades were there more homes built than what has been allowed to be built in less than 2 years. Those homes built in the 90s and early 2000s included homes replaced after Hurricane Hugo. Most homes built in the past 2 years have been built by developers for their major and minor subdivisions. People from 10 Mile are not subdividing and all developing their lots at the same time. Developers are doing that. Look at the history of 10 Mile. It's not dictating something new to restrict those from 10 Mile. It's how 10 Mile has been developed. It's just never been documented. Had it been formally documented and adopted, the major subdivisions in 10 Mile probably wouldn't be there right now. There are less than 150 undeveloped parcels remaining in 10 Mile. Some are large enough to be subdivided. If people choose to develop their parcels, we're asking that it be done in a manner that respects and complements the existing community, its character, its people, and its resources. We believe our smart growth plan will help do that. 10 Mile does not want nor need another destructive subdivision. We see, feel, and experience what these subdivisions have done to the community each and every day. Whether the parcel is located in the middle of the community or the edge of the community is still part of the community, and its development matters and impacts the community. And we were just recently informed that the town of Mount Pleasant voted to annex another 6 acres from the community.
Thank you.
Bert Morrison, Anthony G. Bryant.
Hello, I'm Bert Morrison, 3848 Chestnut Street, North Charleston. First of all, I'm excited to hear that y'all had a meeting with the Economic Development Council, the Development Committee. I'm hoping that that bit of transparency and government oversight can start to claw back some of those dollars for our public schools. And starting with those agreements that, quote, the benefit of the project is not worth the cost to the people. Regarding that, I'm going to have 3 questions I hope to share with y'all. First, though, a bit of history. So 300 years ago, right here in Charleston County, our ancestors, or at least my ancestors, were participating in a settler colonial genocide. It was been going on by then, by 1715, it had been going on for about 100 years. More than 80% of the Native Americans had been killed through murder, starvation, and disease. And then they were also pushed off their lands. And it's important to note that all this was done exclusively in the name of Christianity, in the name of Jesus. So my first question is, when some of those Native Americans began to fighting back against colonialism, does that mean that they were terrorists? First question, were Native Americans terrorists? Second question, is it anti-Christian to support Native Americans in their liberation against colonialization? Second question. Now, in 2025, there's only a few places left in the world where this violent settler colonialism is still happening. There's Sudan, Congo, where people are being forced off their land through violence, and there's Palestine. And systematically, for over 100 years, people have been forced off their land there. And so my final question is, do you think the people of Charleston, your constituents, our neighbors, want to invest our money into weapons that are being used for colonialization? I can tell you the answer. They don't. We've been all over Charleston talking to people about this. Nobody wants to invest our money, our public funds, in colonialization. It's 2025. Let's stop stealing people's land. Thank you.
Anthony G. Bryant.
I had a public comment I made regarding power. The Men in Energy South Carolina annual update on demand side management program and petition to update rider for potential increase or decrease in the rider of retail rates. Demand management side component, docket number 202611E. All of these zoning requirements will require power. And what will be happening in January will be our rates. And the question becomes disposable income of all these zonings comes down to what I said the last time as far as having density looked at in a coordinated fashion beforehand. You have to break this down density-wise of who needs to require the wraparound services, right? You know, the sheriff, everybody, then break it down to having everyday folk come in, because what's going on, you're creating new zoning requirements. And in doing so, you're creating confusion. And maybe you got a lot of interest groups on both sides, and something called confusion for its own sake as a form of revenge. So they create confusion for its own sake to be dilatory, right? And I've watched this. So it's up to you to say, okay, let's break this down to specifics of a preservation community and a new development, and really roll your sleeves up in a workshop regarding this, right? Because you all, it's a comprehensive, North Charleston now is going to feel the pinch of all the rents. North Charleston is. The college Charleston got 32,000 kids on reserve. City's proposing to get $40 million. They're going to buy your property for $40 million, $30 million, ILA for $13 million. How are you going to do affordable housing with a $40 million price? Got to be a 0-0 basis for that to take place. So my time's up.
Thank you so much. At this time, Chaplain Roy Gould will lead us in prayer, and the pledge will be done by Budget Analyst Laverio Lewis, a member of the current cohort of Emerging Leaders.
May you join me in prayer. Almighty God, we thank you for the wisdom and the guidance that you have overshadowed each and every council member and the decision that they have already made. Continue to pour down your wisdom for the remaining decision that is before them. And Lord, we'll give you the praise, we'll give you the glory, and we'll give you the honor. In your holy name, amen.
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Freedom of Information Act.
In compliance with the Freedom of Information Act, notice of meeting was posted and agendas were distributed to news media and persons requesting notification.
The minutes from the November 20th meeting, properly moved and seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. The ayes have it. Item 3A, third reading, pedestrian and temporary construction easement, 4355 Bridgeview Drive.
An ordinance approving and authorizing the grant of an easement and a temporary construction easement to Movement Resources on a portion of county-owned property identified as tax map parcel number 412000027, located at 4355 Bridgeview Drive, North Charleston, South Carolina. Mr. Boykin?
Aye.
Mr. Darby?
Aye.
Mrs. Honeycutt? Mr. Kabrowski?
Aye.
Mr. Moody is absent. Mr. Pryor?
Aye.
Mr. Sass?
Aye.
Mr. Werman? Mr. Middleton?
Aye.
The ordinance passes third reading with 8 ayes and 1 absent.
Chairman, before we get the 3B, I just have because I don't want the time to lapse too quick, I have a question on it because it was kind of confusing what we changed and what was changed from last time to this.
So can we
there were more
read,
meetings.
well, she's going to read the
Okay.
Amended ordinance anyway
Right, I
before we vote
understand
on it. Yes, sir?
But
So
there-
third reading, 10-mile overlay zoning district. Yes.
Yes, sir. An ordinance amending the Charleston County Comprehensive Plan as amended at the following document locations: Map 3.1.4 Future Land Use, Map 3.1.5 Urban Suburban Future Land Use Detail, and Map 3.1.18 10-Mile Community Overlay Zoning District.
All right, would you like to have some discussion before we vote?
Briefly, just to ask the staff, because there was a lot of discussion at the end of the last vote on this. So what has changed this in a public forum from the last time we voted on it?
So before going to staff, she just read exactly what we're about to vote on.
I
There were
understand
some
that.
other things that were added by the community, and then you made a motion that was not seconded, and so that was punted back to staff. And we learned as we met throughout the week that a lot of those suggested changes had legal implication and or were brand new. And so once this is at least, once this becomes an ordinance, it can be amended after it is an ordinance.
Well, I understand. You've answered in part my question. So the changes that were suggested about lot size and are not part of
Not
this.
part of this, no, sir.
That's what I wanted to clarify.
No, sir, because some of those required, there were significant changes that were not necessarily even contemplated in any of the community meetings, the planning commission, and none of those processes. So they would have to enter that into a new process after this is adopted.
And the one I was specifically concerned about was the impervious surface size. So you're saying that has not been increased?
No, sir. Roll. Yes.
And I just want to make sure, too, when we're doing these ordinance, it allows Mr. Tisdale to opt out. I want to make sure that's in there because that's one of the things he came here for, and we voted to allow him to opt out. So is that in the ordinance as well, too?
So this is, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
because I want to make that perfectly clear on record that Mr. Tisdale and his property is allowed to opt out.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr.
That's for the
Werman.
record.
My understanding is the amendments to this ordinance have been Mr. Tisdale's property is going to be opted out, and that the rural area went from one residence per 1 acre to 1 per 3.
Right.
That's C, though.
That's correct.
That would be the ZLDR. So I think we're confused. This is just the,
You're right,
this
that
is
is the
just the
ZLDR.
overlay
That's
district
true.
itself.
No, you're right.
And so that's, yeah. All right, roll call vote.
Yes, sir. Mr. Boykin?
Aye.
Mr. Darby?
Aye.
Mrs. Honeycutt?
Can someone call her?
Mr.
Maybe trying to talk.
Yeah, it sounds like she is trying to talk. Mr. Kabrowski?
Aye.
Mr. Moody? Oh, I'm sorry, he's absent. Mr. Pryor?
Aye.
Mr. Sass?
Aye.
Mr. Werman? Mr. Middleton?
Aye.
The ordinance passes third reading with 7 ayes, 1 absent, and 1 absent at this time.
Mr. Chairman, I'm a little concerned with the term that you used, but there may be some illegalities, sir. For 3B, what were you talking about, sir, that we could amend for what purpose?
No, sir. I was talking specifically about some of the proposed changes that were brought up at the last meeting. The community emailed us a list of things, literally while we were meeting. I referred that to the attorney and said to the community, I met with them even prior to the meeting, and so they sent that to us during the meeting. After the meeting, they cleaned up that list of proposed changes. We met with staff and learned that there were some legal questions surrounding some of the things, nothing that's in this ordinance tonight. There were other things that were added that were the request of the community that were legitimate things, but certainly needed to go through a different process. They could not be amended because they were not even raised during the time of the Planning Commission process. It was not raised in the community process, or at least that we saw captured in some of the notes that were available. And then even as we contemplated through first, second, and third reading, was not raised on this level. And so those were new things that we concluded that once this becomes an ordinance, if they wish to further go through a process of amending this to add those things, then it starts a whole new process of a community, because the community also needs to be a part of those things that were being.
Well, absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
But when you say community, man, because it seemed to me there are different factions there. Now, explicitly, who were you talking about when you
So
said
this
the
is Ms.
community?
White.
Ms. White, okay.
Yeah, Ms.
Thank you, sir.
White and yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm good.
3C, 10 mile over. So this is the ZLDR amendments, third reading.
An ordinance amending the Charleston County Zoning and Land Development Regulations Ordinance Number 1202 as amended at the following document locations: Chapter 5, Overlay and Special Purpose Zoning Districts, and Chapter 12, Definitions. Mr. Boykin?
Aye.
Mr. Darby?
Aye.
Mrs. Honeycutt?
So I did text her, and she said that she is saying aye, but I
Okay.
you probably need to just double check.
Okay.
Can we put her on the phone? Can you call her on your phone and then just put it to the mic?
I told her I thought she should call Kristen, but
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, because I texted her myself and she didn't respond. I was going to put her on my line and because she probably wants to be on record.
I'm so glad I
Oh,
promoted
Mrs. Honeycutt
the
is
vote by,
texting me, and she said she is voting aye.
which I've never really
Okay.
used myself.
Mr. Kabrowski?
Everybody else takes advantage of.
Mr. Moody is absent. Mr. Pryor?
Aye, and let the record indicate that Mr. Tisdale is allowed
Yes, sir.
to opt out.
Yes, sir. Mr. Sass?
Aye.
Mr. Werman?
Aye.
Mr. Middleton?
Aye.
The ordinance passes third reading with 8 ayes and 1 absent.
We have second reading of ordinances, repeal and replace business license ordinance, second reading.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 2185, the business license ordinance of the County of Charleston, adopted December 7th, 2021, to update the class schedule as required by the South Carolina Business License Standardization Act. Mr. Boykin?
Aye.
Mr. Darby?
Aye.
Mrs. Honeycutt? I'm just going to skip her for now. Mr. Kabrowski?
Aye.
Mr. Moody is absent. Sorry, guys. Mr. Pryor?
Aye.
Mr. Sass.
Aye.
Mr. Werman. Mr. Middleton.
Aye.
The ordinance passes second reading with 7 ayes, 1 absent, and 1 absent at the time of voting.
4B ZREZ 0925000167, 4550 River Road, St. John's Fire District.
An ordinance rezoning the real property located at 4550 River Road, parcel identification number 213000090 from the agricultural residential AGR zoning district to the rural agricultural AG8 zoning district. Mr. Boykin?
Aye.
Mr. Darby?
Aye.
Mrs. Honeycutt?
She says she's trying to call you, but you won't pick up. Can
She's
you-
on
Jenny.
Ms. Worcester's.
There she goes.
Mr. Kabrowski?
Aye.
Mr. Pryor?
Aye.
Mr. Sass?
Aye.
Mr. Werman?
Aye.
Mr. Middleton?
Aye.
The ordinance passes second reading with 8 ayes and 1 absent.
Item 5, consent agenda,
Approval A through F.
properly moved
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. The ayes have it. Item 6, 6A, HR policies. Mr. Boykin?
Second.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Mr. Boykin has a specific motion.
Mr. Chairman, I understand staff needs some time to implement the new annual leave payout policy. So I would move to approve the committee recommendation on this item with the understanding that the annual leave payout policy changes will go into effect on January 23rd, 2026, while all the other policy changes go into effect immediately.
Thank you. Moved and seconded by Mr. Pryor and Mr. Sass.
Let me ask you this question. So when you said, what are we upping the numbers? Because I know it's like, what, 280? What is the number? 420?
This is just that they can buy their annual leave, get paid out early.
So they leaving the company or they need to borrow it? When you say, pay it out early, I'm kind of confused on that.
You want to get into specifics, or you want me? So we did something for employees that had been here over 10 years because we've focused on 1 through 5. This is only applicable to folks with 10 years. So basically, if you say the max payout is still $480, that's, which again, better than what you can earn with the state. But what you can do now is say if something happens, car breaks down, whatever, and you're sitting at 400 hours, you can go in and get 40 of those hours, 80 of those hours paid out to you in advance. It drops your total that you can be paid out when you leave county service. So if you took out those 40, your max would then be 440, and it would help with the liability because there would be less that the county would have to have on hand. As everyone, I think North Charleston, Berkeley does it. There's some Dorchester.
All right, good point. But we would have to monitor this real closely because if I know I'm approaching 480, I just take out 40, and I go from 400 to from 440 to 400 to make sure. I just want to make sure because somebody's going to find a way to get around.
We have gone through this with all the sneakiest people in the county that we can find and have come up with what we think is confident and comfortable that we'll make it work.
I trust your judgment. All right, thank you, sir.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. The
I
ayes
like
have
that
it.
term, sneaky.
Item
sneaky.
7.
Innovative.
Item 7A.
Move for committee recommendation on all the appointments.
Second.
7A through E. Properly moved and seconded. Mr. Kabrowski.
I just would still like to record my individual votes for that. That's
No, sir. When it comes out of committee, you have to vote for what the committee recommendation was. There can't be amendments at county council on boards and commissions.
so I can vote no then.
You can vote no,
Okay.
yes, sir.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Opposers, nay. So, Mr. Kabrowski, 7A through D, you wish to vote what?
Well, I wish to vote no on 7E.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Werman.
Nothing from me tonight, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Mr.
Got a lot
Boykin.
done.
Nothing from me, sir.
Mr. Sass.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'd like to congratulate Ms. Craig and the library for the grants that y'all received recently. I just got a notice that we had 3 major grants to expand literacy, food access, and community support programs. Y'all have done a great job of looking for grants and finding money at some of our urging. I know it was, but you're doing a great job doing it. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Moody.
He's not here. I don't.
Okay.
Mr. Darby.
I just wish I was handsome as Mr. Thigpen. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Pryor, today is your birthday, so we say happy birthday to Mr. Pryor. If I were in better voice, I would sing to you, but since my
Please
voice
don't,
is
sir. Please don't.
Thank you so much.
He's a preacher, so he can sing.
Since I'm not in good voice today, I'll just say happy birthday. Mr. Pryor.
Thank you. Just a couple of quick things. Thanks for all the birthday texts and the shout out. I really appreciate it. So, Mr. Tootin, that area that I had asked you to look at today on off of Meridian Road over there, about that tax bill. So now I get another call today about Meridian Drive over there where somebody said their taxes went up from $800 to $4,000 on the same property. So I'm going to send that to Ms. Sharon or you tomorrow to take a look at it. But it seems like it's in that area people are complaining about the tax bill, which doesn't have anything to do with us. Since you said the sewer district,
Yeah,
that
what
made
you
sense.
said wasn't a tax bill.
Wasn't a tax, but we just sent it out for them. I would imagine, since we collect. So just want to send us out the tax bill. Maybe somebody can look at it and maybe explain, what's going on, because he said it was 2 partials and it went up from $800 to $4,000. I just can't imagine that. And even if it was under, the 6%, it shouldn't go up that much. But anyway, I'll send you what I have tomorrow, and that's all I have. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Ms. Honeycutt? She's gone. Vice Chair Kowalski.
Things. I want to thank the council for their vote, especially on the 10 mile with the maintaining the rural nature of 10 mile and the historical significance of that going forward, as that's, again, as I've always said, just north of Mount Pleasant, and that sets a precedent for what happens for the next 30 or 40 miles. And so it would have involved potentially thousands and thousands of additional homes. This will help preserve 10 mile and honor the generations that came before, but also help preserve the rural nature of East Cooper and help our traffic from getting worse. And this is coupled with, we met a few weeks ago with the staff in the unincorporated areas of Mount Pleasant, and I hope and pray that it's next year, that when we're here at the end of next year in December, we'll have formed more historical settlement communities from the Georgetown County border and the unincorporated areas all the way to Buck Hall. So that will be a priority for me next year and further if I'm still here. So I thank the staff members who came. I thought it was very productive, and it sets a precedent for what happens next. And just next week is coming up is Hanukkah. And it's ironic that we'll be celebrating freedom over tyranny there 2,500 years ago. And but we're still fighting to those who would slander, destroy, and eliminate us and accuse us of that we shouldn't exist. So that fight is never ending. And just on the remark, as a former chairman of the Charleston County Republican Party, I think I'd hope it's not to be Republican. What that means here is not just part of a social club to advance individuals, but I would hope that we can bring more ideological diversity to our boards and commissions. And I thought tonight it's no reflection that we have capable managers of it. I thought this was a missed opportunity to bring, we have 5 Republicans on this council. We missed an opportunity to increase ideological diversity on the library board to help that board reflect who lives here. We're a evenly balanced community, and those who serve in that should reflect that. And I just, the good people on there and will be on there, but it was this, from my perspective, sincerely missed opportunity. Thank you.
Madam Attorney? Mr. Administrator?
Nothing tonight, sir. And
Madam-
Ms. Salisbury have cupcakes in
Yes,
the back.
sir.
If any of y'all want some sweets, but I'm on the
Clerk?
line.
Yes, sir. Just again, in recognition of Mr. Pryor's birthday, you all know that we always do a teddy bear toss the first week of December. This year we broke records. We raised 512 teddy bears for the Toys for Tots. And in addition to my staff, I wanted to thank the DCA of Finance staff, particularly Carrie Badger, for their dedication and assistance in pulling that effort off.
Thank y'all so much. Keep it coming, love.
Broke the record. So $2,000 in donations that goes to Salvation Army.
Come on.